Welcome to The Raw Truth. I'm your host, BX Bad Boy, as always. And today we're going to talk dynamics. If you want to know what I'm talking about, then stick around. As I stated, we're going to talk about dynamics. Now, what's dynamics? The definition, or at least the human definition, because there's different types of dynamics. A force that simulates progress within a system. That's a definition, or one of the definitions, but this applies to what I'm talking about. This defines the relations between two persons or things. In any relationship where you try to relate, you try to form a dynamic. You try to form a dynamic. Remember, like I said in previous videos, sometimes I gotta use a decoder on this thing because I'm just writing down my thoughts I want to share and start a conversation about. Now, there's three relationships of matter. Now, what that means is there are multiple relationships like associates, passerby, someone I've seen, someone who's in the building. I count those all to associates. People that you acknowledge are associates. That is my opinion, and that is based on simple facts. Is you associate, meaning you acknowledge their existence and they acknowledge yours. That's an association. So, the three relationships of matter are dating / marriage, which are the same thing, just different progression in that relationship. Second is family, and third is friend. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is an associate. So I go on to say, they all have the same dynamic at the core. Now, at the core, but on the surface, only one. So once you go deeper, to each have a slightly different dynamic. Dating, marriage have an intimate dynamic with kissing, sex, and romance, where family has a different intimate dynamic below the surface. Let me put it here so we can talk into the damn mic. With lots of love, kissing cheek, and hugging. Now, friends is more friendly than intimate. Though it has love, it's not the same as family or dating. It has a lighter touch. There can be intimate moments where friends, but normally rare. All three have caring as well, which brings out intimate moments shared. They all have a thin line between them at best. So, to put a decoder to that nonsense, I gotta learn to take better notes. It's this simple, and sometimes this is why I don't usually do notes, because coming off the chest makes more sense. Anyway, dating and marriage has sex, kissing on the lips, and romance. The other three don't. But the family has love. I mean, it's the same things. It does have kissing as well, but it's kissing on the cheek, not the mouth. I don't care what anyone says, but family members that kiss on the cheek are normal and correct. Anyone who kisses on the mouth needs to re-examine themselves. It's not me throwing any shade, I promise you. It's just a simple fact. When your child becomes an adult, or even a teenager, if you're not going to do something with your child their entire life, that no matter how old they get, it's okay to do it with them, then you could do it to them when they're a baby or a child or an infant. But I know for a fucking fact that you're not going to kiss your kid on the mouth when they're fucking 15, when they're 13, when they're even 10, when they're 30. You're going to stop kissing them on the mouth. So you shouldn't do it as a baby. And don't hand me this shit about stuff that you do to a child when they're a baby, like changing diapers, wiping their ass, cleaning their balls. I'm going to tell you something. Until my child turns 18, I will clean his ass if necessary. I will clean his balls if necessary. That's my son. When he's a man, I'm not going to do it, not because I won't do it, because he's a fucking man. Man the hell up and clean them balls. Plain and simple. So if it's something you can't do to them when they're an adult, you shouldn't be doing it to them when they're a child. End of story. Okay? And there's nothing I've done with my child from the day he was born, in some cases since he was conceived, to the day he or I die. Okay? Not one thing. I will beat his ass until I'm dead or can't do it. I will yell at him until I'm dead or I can't do it. I will stomp his skull into the ground until I dead or can't do it. I will pinch him, poke him, tickle him, tease him, beat him with a stick. Everything I've ever done to him, I will do to him until the day I die or can't get up and do it. Now back into the whole subject. So as a family, you kiss on the cheek, you hug, you show love and affection, and there's beyond intimate moments. I don't know any, except with my own son. With the rest of my family, I didn't know intimate moments until I had a son. And let me clarify, as family, I've had thousands of intimate moments with the women I dated. That's a different dynamic, different relationship. Now, friends, you can have intimate moments, but they're rare and far and in between. And usually they require a shitload of love. Not just, hey, that's my friend George. Hey, George, I got this growth on the crack of my butt. No. 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 So, but if me and George have a relationship where I literally can tell him anything, well, I'm like, yo, George, you have any idea why there's something growing on the crack of my ass? And describe it to him, and he'll be like, yo, listen, I had that once. You take this, gone. Or you better go see a doctor. But that's rare. And not that it can't happen, but it's rare that people get that intimate with their friends. Brothers? Oh, shit. I've had intercourse on the lower bunk, and one of my brothers was having sex on the upper bunk, okay? We didn't see each other, but we moved the whole bunk bed about, 5 inches away from the wall. Let's just say that. So me telling him about that, what? There's not much I can't tell certain brothers. Now, when it comes to your wife or boyfriend, the intimacy is so much greater. There's literally nothing you can't. And this is when things work out, not when you're just screwing around with someone. We're talking about serious here. Throw out all the bullshit and real relationship. I know people are like, what? What is that? Isn't that like that rare coin? What is that called? Bitcoin? No, it's not rare. You just got to remember when you find it not to abuse it because you're scared of it. That's when it goes south. You have it. It's in your hand. You smell it. You taste it. And you, oh shit, it's too good for me. And you throw it away. That's not my fault, but it does exist. Now let's get back into what I was saying before you rudely interrupted me with your thoughts. Now, with your woman, you literally can tell them anything. If it's a serious relationship, there's things you can only tell them. You can't even tell a priest. In some cases, you can't even tell a doctor. But hell no, you ain't being able to tell your mother. Hell no, you won't tell your brother. Hell no, you ain't telling any friend you ever got. So the dynamics are very same though. They all have love. They all have care. They all have attention, affection. They all have the same thing. The only major difference is the intimacy moments or the variation of intimacy. Because people ask me, how have you gone 12 years without a girlfriend? And I'm tired of explaining it, but I'm still willing to explain it. Everything my woman could have given me, my son gives me. Minus anything intimate in the sexual sense, intimate in the romance sense, and intimate in the girlfriend sense. Which, to me, that's just not important. At the end of the day, having a girlfriend is not important. Sex is not important. I don't need that to survive. I don't need that to keep my sanity and not go lonely and go insane. I don't need it. It don't help. God only knows it doesn't help. But love, attention, affection, caring, devotion, some girls, you might as well be a girl. And let's not get into that. Everything anyone could give me, from friend to family to girlfriend, my son gives me. Genuine love, genuine affection, genuine care, some of the greatest hugs in the world, and attention. Now, I don't ask for any attention from him, but I get it. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't ask for it, so he gives it to me. My father keeps asking for it, and he's like, I don't want to go see Grandpa. Because you can't beat attention out of someone, let alone your kid, grandkid, family member. So that's why, again, I've been single for 12 years. Because the things that I need, that a companion is supposed to bring, my son is my companion. And I'm not saying I'm replacing women or a relationship with my son, but my son was more important than anyone else. I love all my supporters and all those who at least watch the video, even if they don't subscribe and show me some love. I love you either. I love you also, but compared to my son, there isn't a living thing, person, place on this planet, or in existence, or yet to be built into existence, that I love more than my son. So he comes first. So, while taking care of him, he fulfills the need as my son for all the love, attention, and affection I would crave from a companion that was intimate. Except I don't need the intimate. That could go for all I care. I mean, don't mind my background. I just thought it was hot. No pun intended. So chill out. No pun intended. Alright, fine. Both puns were intended. Shut up. Anyway, so I didn't need to hunt a girlfriend down. I didn't even need to look or even ask for one. Because while being a father, all those primal urges for attention, affection, love, and caring I was getting. So I wasn't looking for it. And like I said, since sex and intimacy of that nature don't matter to me, I was never looking for them. And then yes, for the record, it's been 12 years since I had a girlfriend, and it's been 10 years since I've been intimate with one. It was my son's mother. She knocked on my hotel door at 1:30 in the morning. Strip poker led to You go next. So I don't care though, because I had my son. I have my son. And you talk to my son and he will tell you he is his father's boy. I don't have to. If I would have fallen off the face of the earth for 6 months and come back, my son will still be my son. While he was growing up, his mother was manipulating him to not necessarily hate me, but hate me. And trying to keep him away from me and fuck with our relationship, so there was no connection. So if I did go away, or she was successful cutting me off by the courts or what have you, my son could forget me. And I know this to be true, because when he was a baby, she denied me ever seeing him until I proved he was mine. Ain't that some fucked up shit? So I spent some time with him before she pulled that stunt, because either she was convinced by her cunt rag mother or she did it on her own. Anyway, she enforced it, and she forced me to get a DNA test, because since there was no proof I was his father, she was not legally obligated to let me see him. So she didn't. But when she finally was forced to let me see him, and don't get me wrong, nobody forced her, but she knew she couldn't deny me my son, he wouldn't touch me. He wouldn't come near me. He cried hysterically like I was some fucking crazed stranger. He kicked me, he hit me, he refused to get into my arms, refused to come with me, because of her. Keeping him away from me for so long. Because however long the court case took, she kept him away from me. I think it was a month or two before the whole process got taken care of. You set up the court date, you go to court, you say we need a DNA test. They set up the fucking DNA test. I had to pay $149 fucking dollars. And then I had to go do the DNA test, and I had to go back to the court. And once the court got it, a new court date, got to the court. Then he goes, okay, you're his father, blah, blah, blah. All rights bestowed. But now that he's 12, I've cemented who the fuck I am. I am his father, and no one can replace me. No one. Now, he has a stepfather. Why do I always feel like it should be father-in-law? But he has a stepfather. And him and I get along like peas in a pod. So I told him, listen, you're basically his father in that house. Do what you feel you have to, as an actual father would to their child. Because at the end of the day, why should you have these restrictions, but yet still supposed to care for the kid? That seems asinine. So do what you feel is right. And when you cross a line, you and I will talk. And if it don't stay talking, then you and I won't be talking, and we'll be knuckling up. End of story. And he's like, basically, like, we're in a complete agreement on that factor. If either one of us cross that line, knuckle up if we can't speak. Plain simple. And ever since, we've never knuckled up. It never went that route. We had maybe a bit of a loud conversation at one point or another, but that's because of his frustration because of Jeremy's mother. So we never had to knuckle up. There was never, yo, I'm coming to get you, blah, blah, blah. Yo, you better watch yourself. None of that. Because we know where we stand. And we took care of it day one. So he has father figures, but nobody replaces me. Not as a person, and not in my son's heart and or mind. So even if she's able to take him from me ever again, or something happens to me, or whatever, that child is not Gonna go, who are you? Oh, you're that guy, aren't you? No. He knows who his father is. Sorry. As you can tell, it's very sensitive. Anyway. Those are dynamics. Sometimes I can lose track. Please subscribe, like, and dislike. Leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Add something to my story. Maybe want to know more about my story if you didn't know from previous videos. Or you want to make a video all about my story. From the day I met his mother to the day we stand. It's a very interesting story. Full of crazy shit. Should write a book. So, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to hear the whole story. I'll make a video about the whole story. From the day I met her online to the day I stand for almost 13, 14 years later. I will tell the whole damn story. But on another note, please subscribe, like, comment, yell at me, tell me you don't like me, don't care. Just try to be respectful, because I'm going to be respectful to you. And as you get disrespectful to me, then knuckle up. So on that note,